We're only days away from what's technically Apple's first event of 2026, and this is going to be such a packed week of announcements coming soon. And we just got some new info on what's coming. Let's talk about it. Now, just yesterday, Tim Cook posted a teaser of the upcoming launch. He posted it with the caption, "A big week ahead. It all starts on Monday morning. Hashtag Apple launch." The video he shared shows what looks to be a MacBook and someone putting together the Apple logo on top of it. Not gonna lie, this gives me some Pixar short vibes. Wow. The MacBook shot is, of course, hinting at the new MacBooks we're expecting, with the entire Mac notebook lineup being refreshed, including the new A18 Pro MacBook, which we'll talk about here in a second. But aside from that, there isn't much else hinted at here. Now, the image from the Apple Experience invite last week did give us some more hints, like the potential colors for that A18 Pro MacBook. By the way, that image is now the hash flag for hashtag Apple launch on Twitter. Now, let's talk about the event format, because it's clear this isn't a typical Apple event. Rather than having one pre-recorded event streamed on one day, instead we'll be seeing three different announcements on three separate days next week: March 2nd, March 3rd, and March 4th. With that last day, March 4th, being used to hold the in-person Apple experience in New York, Shanghai, and London. This format is similar to the M4 Mac launch back in October 2024 or the March 2025 launch last year. So let's talk about what's coming on all three of these days. The product to take center stage is, of course, the A18 Pro MacBook. This will be a very important device for Apple, as this will be the cheapest MacBook ever at $600. Obviously, that's with some compromises. As mentioned in the product name, this device will feature the A18 Pro chip from the iPhone 16 Pro, which is actually faster than the M1 chip now. Something we don't entirely know, though, is RAM. The A18 Pro chip came with 8GB of RAM, which is fine for a phone, but not so great on a Mac. This has gotten some people to speculate if they could bump it up to 12GB of RAM for this MacBook, which could be possible. The RAM shortage evidently isn't affecting Apple too much, so 12GB of RAM could be possible with this new MacBook. We also know the display will be 12.9 inches now, likely featuring a 4:3 aspect ratio from an iPad. But this display will also feature more compromises, like a lower brightness under 500 nits, which is what the MacBook Air currently has, and it will lack True Tone. This MacBook also won't support fast charging, which isn't too surprising. Given the likely smaller battery and lower power chip, this MacBook may ship with the same 20-watt adapter as the iPads. There will also be no support for high impedance headphones and no N1 Wi-Fi 7 chip. Those are all fairly minor, but these next things are a bit bigger. For one, the SSD. For consumers, there will only be 256 gig and 512 gig options, no 1 or 2 terabyte options like the MacBook Air. And apparently for education, there will be a cheaper 128 gig option, similar to the education exclusive 128 gig M1 MacBook Air. But no matter which SSD you'll choose, it'll apparently be slower than the MacBook Air and MacBook Pro due to using either slower NAND chips or perhaps only a single NAND chip like the 256 gig M2 MacBook Air and MacBook Pro had. But perhaps the most interesting and unfortunate cutback is no backlit keyboard. The first MacBook in 16 years to lack a backlit keyboard. Apple has done a similar downgrade with the dedicated Magic Keyboard for the Mac, the Magic Keyboard for the iPad Air M3, and the Magic Keyboard Folio, but it's still unfortunate. But in terms of colors, this will be the first MacBook since 1999 that will actually feature vibrant, fun colors. We're expecting 6 colors with this MacBook: silver, space gray, yellow, pink, blue, and green. Apparently, some of these colors were in testing for the M2 MacBook Air, but are instead coming with this MacBook, which feels a bit more fitting. We're also expecting 2 small MacBook refreshes next week. The MacBook Pro will be gaining the M5 Pro and M5 Max chips, which will be pretty substantial upgrades. The M5 Pro will outperform the M4 Max in CPU and the M3 Max in GPU, while the M5 Max will outperform the M3 Ultra in both CPU and GPU. Other than that, the MacBook Pro will remain fairly similar until we see the redesign this fall with the M6 update. Meanwhile, the MacBook Air will receive a small upgrade from the M4 to the M5 now, with no other major changes. But a small upgrade should be the default included power adapter, as the current base MacBook Air uses the 30-watt power adapter, which has been discontinued and out of production for 6 months now, and replaced by the new 40-watt adapter introduced with the iPhone 17 lineup. So, by default, the MacBook Air should come with a 40-watt adapter. But if this is the case, that means the base 40-watt adapter would be a higher wattage than the current upgrade option, the 35-watt dual USB-C power adapter. So I think this 35-watt adapter will also be discontinued and replaced by a new dual USB-C power adapter with a higher wattage. We're also expecting 2 new iPads next week, the iPad Air and iPad. The iPad Air will be gaining the M4 chip, the C1X 5G modem, and the N1 Wi-Fi chip, while the base iPad will gain either the A18 or A19 chip, currently unknown which one it'll gain. Either way, with this chip upgrade, the base iPad will gain 8GB of RAM and Apple Intelligence now, meaning the entire iPad lineup will support Apple Intelligence now. Other than that, no other iPad upgrades next week. And of course, we're expecting the iPhone 17e next week. The iPhone 17e will be upgraded to the A19 chip, the C1X 5G modem, and maybe the N1 Wi-Fi chip. It'll also gain MagSafe finally, and it'll gain the 18 megapixel center stage camera from the iPhone 17 and iPhone Air. What's been conflicting though is whether or not this phone will gain Dynamic Island or not. Some reports say yes, while others say no. We simply just don't know yet. So, what order can we expect these announcements to take place next week? Well, I predict the iPhone 17e will come first on Monday, March 2nd. Then on Tuesday, March 3rd, we'll see both the new iPads, iPad and iPad Air. And finally, on Wednesday, March 4th, I think we'll see the entire MacBook refresh. MacBook Air M5, MacBook Pro M5, and the MacBook A18 Pro. And since Tim Cook is calling this an Apple launch, I think there will be launch videos for all of these devices. Perhaps they can have some fun with these launch videos, with Kai Andrians from the iPhone team showcasing the iPhone 17e on Monday, then Melody Kuna from the iPad team showcasing the new iPads on Tuesday, and finally John Turnus showcasing all the new Macs on Wednesday. Either way, this is going to be a very fun week ahead. So that's what to expect from the Apple March launch next week. What are you most excited for from this launch? Let me know in the comments.